Hi guys, so welcome back to our class and we are discussing units and measurements. So this is the part B. In the part A of it, we carried out an introduction. We looked at what is physical quantities and units. And in this part B, we will start from fundamental quantities and units and also looked at the derived quantities and units, prefix for units, and then conversion factors for SI units. So we cannot waste much time. Let's dive in. So what are fundamental quantities and units? Remember, both fundamental quantities and derived quantities are all physical quantities. They are quantities that are measurable. Now, but fundamental quantities are the bedrock of physics. They simply mean that they are the basic quantities from which other quantities are being gotten. They are quantities that do not depend on other quantities to be tested or proven. And these fundamental quantities are 7 in numbers. So we will be listing the 7 fundamental quantities and their fundamental units. Remember, these fundamental units are also the basic units. They are the bedrock units from which other units, other physical units are being gotten. Okay, so let's go ahead. I will be drawing a table here. Don't mind me. So here is quantity and here are units. Remember, these are fundamental quantities we are talking of now. And the first fundamental quantity is length. And its units. Remember, when I'm talking about units, I'm talking about the SI units. These SI units also have subunits. That's why I said I will talk something on prefix for units, such as the centi, the milli, the tera, the deca. Okay, so now, but the basic unit or this SI unit is what I'm listing out here now. And the SI unit for length is meter. M. Now, the next important fundamental unit, quantity is mass. And its key or fundamental or SI unit is kilogram. Kilogram. Written as kg. Now, the next is time. And its SI unit is seconds. S. Now, another fundamental quantity is temperature. I'll abbreviate it. And its SI unit is Kelvin. Another fundamental unit is electric current. Where will I clean? I need space. Okay, let me clean this part. Electric current. Or let me just write current. And its SI unit is ampere. The next is, I've listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, the next is amount of substance. Amount of substance. And this is mole, in bracket MOL. And the last one there is luminous intensity. And we have what as the SI units? The SI unit, do you know the SI unit? It is candela, abbreviated as CD. All right, so these are the fundamental units, which are the basic from which other units are being gotten. Okay, so it simply means that derived units are units gotten from the combination of either 1 or 2 or 3 of these fundamental units. We all know this fundamental unit, length, used to measure what? The distance. or displacement between an object, mass, amount of matter being possessed by an object, time, reference in which an event occur, or interval in which something occur, temperature, the quantity of hotness or coldness in a body, current, the flow of electric charge, amount of substance. You have normally used in measuring the elementary quantities such as amount, or such as in atoms, moles, molecule. It is normally used in chemistry. Then luminous intensity. It measures the quantity of brightness of light in a specific direction. So these are all these quantities, and these are their units. Now, the derived units, or the derived quantity and derived unit, I will just give you example. Examples are, we have something like speed, and the unit is what? Is a meter per seconds. That is m/s. We also have things like area. Area is simply meter squared. That is 2 times of meter when they multiply. We have volume. Volume is meter cube. We have some things like density. Density. Let me write density up here. Density is what? Density is defined as mass over volume. So when you know mass is what? Kilogram. So that which is kg over your volume. Your volume is what? M3. So density is kilogram per meter cube. So from the definitions of all these terms, you'll be able to get their derived units. Okay, so these are the difference. Derived quantities and derived units are units gotten from the combination of one or two of the fundamental quantities, and then the units also are stated here. So now let's look at some essential prefix. Now, what are these prefixes? This prefix is very, very important because sometimes this unit might be smaller. These quantities might be smaller or bigger. Sometimes your length might be 10 meters. Sometimes it might be very small, like 2 centimeters. Sometimes it might be very big, that it will be in kilometers. So therefore, these prefixes are very important. Now, some of these prefixes we have are things like, we have kilo. Kilo is simply 10 raised to power 3. We have things like mega. Mega is 10 raised to power 6. We have things like giga. Giga is 10 raised to power 9. And we have things like tera. Tera is 10 raised to power 12. So we also have that of smaller quantities. Now, that of smaller quantities are like centi. We have milli. We also have things like micro. We also have things like nano. We also have things like pico. Now, centi is 10 raised to power minus 2. Milli is 10 raised to power minus 3. Micro is 10 raised to power minus 6. Nano is 10 raised to power minus 9. And pico is 10 raised to power minus 12. So all this helps us in presenting our units and our quantities in a very smaller dimensions or a bigger dimension. So guys, in our next class, which is the conclusion, we will be looking at conversion factors. So do well to subscribe to this platform. Follow us on all our social media handles, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. I promise that you will learn, and a minute spent in this class will not be a waste for you. See you in the next class. Bye for now.